Times change and the future beckons. Laypersons with diverse professional skills and backgrounds are stepping into sponsor roles to continue the work of founding congregations, respond to the challenges of the modern world, and lay groundwork for the future of the ministry.
Now it's the era of the laity, and we have an obligation, I think, to instill those principles and those ideals and assure that going forward, that it's not, what did the sisters do? What do the sisters want us to do? But what is right now? What is God calling me to do in this day and age?
I remember the times when we worked in it. We were the supervisor, we were the manager, we were the board, we were the member, we were the sponsor. And that's gone, long gone. But even sponsorship has changed. Now we have people who are not religious who are sponsors. That's a call to them to take up where we left off. And hopefully we can help develop them, as you say, for the future. That's a challenge for them.
When we were sponsors, the sisters themselves were the sponsors. We never even thought about that as a special calling, as a very special gift and calling that we had. Now that we're able to enable other people, we're in a position where we're trying to encourage and enable and assure that they have the education they need. That certainly is very enriching to us. Looking backwards, makes it so. A gift to know that we had this gift of sponsorship, which we never even thought about. We never referred to it. We never talked of ourselves as sponsors until we began to go into systems and we began to encourage the participation of lay people in the ministry.
Sponsorship really is a sacred trust. It's asking of the laity to step into their stead and to do what they have done and to assure that the ministry continues vibrant and alive into this century and the next.
We have a lot of wonderful young leaders that are coming up who have no memory whatsoever of the sisters running their hospitals, teaching in their schools. They have no memory of it at all. Their commitment to service in the church is coming from their reflection from other lay leaders who have committed themselves to that service.
I'm not a Catholic. I'm not going to be a Catholic, right? It's not my future, right? And so, but what I am is values-driven, right? And the tenets around what Catholic healthcare and identity mean align nicely with how I see the world. I happen to be a Methodist as well. But we all coalesce around the scripture and the words that drive us towards helping people who can't help themselves.
It really is undertaking as a sacred trust, sort of a promise that when questions are asked relative to the Catholic healthcare facilities, etc., that we ask the sponsorship questions. Who do we care for? Where is the social justice? Are our employees well paid? Are their benefits appropriate? It's asking the questions that make us different, I hope.
Are we really contributing to the needs of this community at this time? How is it that we can respond in a different way? Perhaps in a better way? How is it that we can be prophetic in this community and sometimes challenge structures that are in place? How is it that we challenge management, leadership in the organization to be aligned differently? How is it that the resources that are given to us are used appropriately to further the ministry rather than to further the benefit of any individual in the ministry? Those are not easy questions, but sponsors have a responsibility to continue asking them to ensure that they are creating a future of hope for all those who partner with them in this ministry.
As we've gone through all this modernization of healthcare, and as we continue to deal with those, the founding principles have not been altered at all. But there is a recognition, though, that how we execute and how we carry that ministry out does have to address the time in history of which we are doing that. So partnerships, relationships with others, all now are a part of our overall work, but that work remains rooted in those founding principles.
I like that analogy of landscape, and I think that it's not just that the landscape is shifting, that we have a very important part in creating the landscape of healthcare.
Our challenge for the future is finding the young people of today who want to give that kind of commitment to service of others, not because it makes a lot of money, not because it's professionally rewarding, but it's because it's the passion of their lives.